Thank you very much, Tessa, and it's an absolute honour to be here today. Now, I have with me a beautiful young woman called Megan O'Malley, and Megan is going to be doing the slides because I'm not actually reading to the slides. I've got some notes here, okay, so we're a team. And Megan is Jamal, the beautiful boy at St Kilda Primary School who does have Prader-Willi syndrome, and Megan is one of his aides, and Andrew is his other aide who is here at the front. And they travel as a team. They've been to the camp this year. We're involved in all aspects of Jamal's life and feel very, very privileged to be so. So if I can just wriggle that over there. Okay, and you do your stuff. There you go. Beautiful. Okay, could I start by saying I'm absolutely thrilled and honoured to be here this afternoon, to be invited. I spoke last year at a family day and it was absolutely super, and I thought the children would be here today as well, and I walked in and of course we're missing them, and they're the dynamic little ones in our lives. So what I'm going to do today is to share with you what life is like at St Kilda Primary School. I've been the principal there for the last 6 years. Absolutely love it. As Tessa said, it is an incredibly diverse community. We have a number of children there who have English as a second language. We have refugee children. We have children under the program for students with disabilities. It is a big mixing pot of absolute love. I love it. Everybody seems to be quite happy there. And we have the most divine children. So a little bit about it. The school is always about children. And I have got, as I said, a smorgasbord of children there. What really drives me, what puts fire in my belly, is the well-being of the students at St Kilda Primary School. I love working with the parents and with the staff and with external agencies to make sure that we can support every single child at our school so that they can get the most out of their education and that they can be the happiest they can possibly be. School is there for enjoyment. It's for children to have fun. They do a little bit of learning on the side as well. But I want my children to come to school and to think, yay, I want to be here. I love being here. I belong here. Okay, St Kilda Primary School. I know we've got visitors from diverse places. St Kilda Primary School, it's not too far from here. It's a beautiful little place. Also, we refer to it as paradise. And St Kilda Primary School is located in St Kilda on Brighton Road. We have all public transport leads to St Kilda Primary, and we are in a very prominent position. We're surrounded by major roads. It opened in 1875 with 604 children and 12 staff. We have now got 559 children and 50 staff, including 6 integration aides. Our enrolments are steadily increasing. It's quite a popular school, and we have recently been given a designated neighbourhood boundary, which means it's a little bit more challenging to get into the school, but we do make exceptions for special babies. I was approached before in the foyer with one lovely mum from New Zealand, and she's coming out. She lives in New Zealand, so I mean that is quite. I wasn't going to identify. That is quite a distance from St Kilda, but we do stretch the boundaries when we need to. Okay. Every child is valued as a special person at St Kilda Primary School. We recognise that every child there has extraordinary abilities, and we provide them with a safe, supportive and nurturing environment to enable them to reach their full potential. I've been asked today to talk about how to get the most out of mainstream education for children with Prader-Willi syndrome, so here we go. It is firstly and most importantly about partnerships. We have got Tessa and Warren as Jamal's parents, and it is really, really important that you connect with them as a school immediately. Nobody knows their child better than their parents. And so we have been blessed because Tessa and Warren already had children at the school, so they weren't a new family. But if you are thinking about going to a main school, and we are super, you really do need to get to know the people at the school. You need to get to know the school itself. And it's most important that you share all of the information that you have about your baby with the school as soon as you possibly can. I have been approached by a parent of a newborn child, a little bub, who isn't due to come to school for 5 years, who also has Prader-Willi, and you may be here today. Okay, you are. And that's great, but that's possibly a little too advanced to start working together. And I've said, yes, come back a little bit closer to the starting date. And generally, the 12 months beforehand is exactly perfect. And that's exactly what Tessa and Warren did. All right, by sharing all of the information that you have about your child, it enables us to better understand the needs of your baby and how we can best support him or her and the family. All right, the partnership is about the children. Everything is about the children. It's about enriching their lives. It is about sharing the knowledge, sharing the resources that you have got and the resources that we had. It is about combining professional learning for everybody that's involved with the child, and it's about learning from each other. Learning together is the most powerful thing that we can do between families and school. So our journey. I'm going to tell you a little bit about our lovely Jamal, and he's absolutely adorable. That's him. He's one of the children sitting there. Jamal, we had life before Jamal, and now we have life with Jamal. And we love colour at St Kilda Primary, and he has added a huge rainbow to our school. He's got the biggest personality you could ever come across, and he arrives in that office. He has the staff organised, and if there is, and consistency is really, really important, if there's been a change, because he goes out with the yard duty teacher every morning when he gets to school, and if there's been a change, for example, one day I said, Jamal, it's my turn. No, didn't want a bar to do with me. And he said, no, he needed to be with his regular person. So it's important. Anyhow, so life before and life since the arrival of Jamal. Jamal was a little preppy in 2003, and as I said, we were blessed to have already known Tessa and Warren, so we had already well and truly started planning for Jamal's arrival. We started in 2012. We put in a new application for funding under what is called the Program for Students with Disabilities. So we worked together. We looked at all of the assessments. The more information that you're able to provide the school from birth, you will be asked every question by the school, and the more information you can provide the school, the better. It's really, really critical that you share everything that you have, everything about your child. So in putting in the application for the Program for Students with Disability, and I won't go into the forms, but there are a number of forms that need to be completed. We had reports that came from the psychologists, speech therapists, OTs, the kindergarten, very, very important. We met with the kindergarten, and we had our own psychologist involved, and at all stages in the application writing, the implications for Jamal's learning and wellbeing were clearly stated. We spent a lot of time. It's a matter of months that you really need to give to the school. We do, or you provide us with information. We gather a lot more information. We put together the application, and you see every single bit of it. It is absolutely transparent. Once the application has gone in, we cross our fingers and our toes, and we hope to get a high level of funding. The higher the level, the greater support that we can provide for the child. Once that application has gone in, what we did is we started getting ready. I said to the prep staff, okay, the situation is we have got 2 children with Prader-Willi starting in prep next year. I think at that stage we had 4 prep grades. 5. We had 5 prep grades, thanks Tessa. And I had staff falling over themselves wanting to have both of the children in their grade. In the end, we went with one lovely teacher. She was the first one to put up her hand. And so she knew that she was going to have the 2 children in her grade. It was then very important to make sure we knew that we had secured funding for Jamal. We hadn't yet secured funding for Mia. Mia had come from overseas. We were putting in an application, but we knew we had funding for Jamal. So off we went and employed integration aides, these 2 beautiful ones who are here today. Jamal was also involved in a transition program. The more the children get to know their school before day 1 arrives, the better. Same for every child. So Jamal was part of the transition program that went for 5 weeks. The staff were involved in considerable professional development. So we had our own whole staff wellbeing sessions both at the end of 2012 and then again the day before Jamal arrived. We had the teacher and aides were attached at this stage to the Prader-Willi Syndrome Association of Victoria, who were an immense support, and Kate de Jocelyn came out and ran a session for the staff. Now, the day that she came to run the session, it was after school, and I said to the staff, it's optional if you would like to come. Every single person who worked at St Kilda Primary School was there, whether it was their day of work or not. I've got part-time staff, everybody was there. We were like sardines crammed in. But it just shows the commitment of the staff at the school. So all of that happened before Jamal arrived. Then when he arrived, it was about, okay, we have a child with Prader-Willi syndrome and we know that there will be members of our community who may not have heard of this syndrome. We needed to make our community aware. The more aware we are, the greater our understanding is and the easier life is, not only for Jamal, but for his family, for the teachers, for the aides, for all of the children. So we went into promoting the awareness of Prader-Willi syndrome, and we had and still have every year, and as you all know, we have the next Orange Day coming up, where we have whole school, everybody gets dressed in orange, and we also all participate in a whole school Zumba class. So everybody is very active. The first year, Jamal was there down on the oval with the rest of the children. Last year, he was on the stage with everybody else, encouraging, taking over the Zumba. So who knows what will happen this year. We put articles on the school's website. We started by, oh really, 2 minutes? Oh, good grief. Okay. All right, I'll have to cut out chunks. I'm terribly sorry. Happy to be contacted any time, St Kilda Primary School. Anyhow, our school psychologist put together a package for the Beachside Network, which has been shared now with other schools. We needed to change school practices. So brain food, the children get at 10 o'clock the opportunity to go and get food out of their bags to replenish their little brains so that they can keep going until recess, which is at 11. So instead, brain food comes in and it's on the tables, which is basically only fresh veggies, fresh fruit, water for the entire school. The eating of snack and lunch, we changed the school practices in regard to how we were going to manage that. The classroom program, we needed to make sure that Jamal was given additional time. He was given additional support in regard to the work that was being done in the classroom, supervision in the yard. Visual cues were made to ensure that he had a greater understanding of what was happening in the classroom. He needed supervision around the eating times. That was all put into place. His toileting, at the beginning, we made sure that he was supervised in regard to all of his toileting. and maintaining routines as much as we possibly could. Our welfare program, we had everybody working together, his speech therapists, OTs. We had the integration aides involved in all welfare meetings, as well as the teachers and, of course, the parents. He went to before and after school care. Well, actually, Jamal went to aftercare. He started going, he went 1 day a week, and we made sure that he was well supported at aftercare, because your little tackers might need to go to before and after care too. You can work with the provider of the before and after school care program. They can source funding to make sure there is a person available to support your child one-on-one. And it's really important, because food is a whole new matter at before and after school care. So that funding has come through Camp Australia, organised that through Noah's Ark. That funding is available to everybody. Oh, where do I go? How long have I got? Oh, I'm not even halfway. And I cut it down considerably. It was like 4 times this long. Could I just say, Tessa's going to knock me off. Tessa, can I just say, what is really, really important is communication with the school. You need to expect the school to communicate with you. You need to know that every school should have a really open door policy. You should be embraced and welcomed at any given moment to ask any questions. If there are any questions, you can hit me with the bottle. If there are any questions that you have, just ask. I think I meant to have 20 minutes instead of 15. You just need to ask.
Thank you, goodbye.
Oh, okay. Have high expectations. We do. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm happy to talk with any of you at any stage.
Thanks, Sue.